What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the Auto Endeavors YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing whether or not we think the Ford Maverick is going to put to bed the Ford Ranger. So let's dive right on into this discussion. So basically, Ford has announced that they are going to be making the Maverick in a truck form. Now, if you know anything about the Maverick, you know it used to not be a truck, it used to be a car, but they are bringing back the Maverick name and they are putting it on their latest pickup truck reveal. Now, this truck is very different from the other trucks that they have to offer, such as the Ford Ranger and the Ford F-150. Now, the Ford Maverick is going to be placed in a position to be offered to a specific clientele. And Ford is very wise in this logic in that they realize that there is a large number of individuals who would like a little bit of utility but don't really need it that much. However, if you go to any Home Depot parking lot, any Lowe's parking lot, you will witness people trying to stuff things into vehicles such as the Toyota Prius, the Toyota Camry, and so on and so forth. So they realize that the everyday common man and the everyday homeowner needs a vehicle that is capable of at least carrying stuff occasionally that is larger than, say, the trunk space in an average sedan car. Now, the topic of this video is going to be whether or not the Ford Maverick is going to replace or completely eliminate the Ford Ranger. Now, these two vehicles are very different in that the Ford Ranger is a body-on-frame style pickup truck, which is typical in the pickup truck variety, at least in America. And the Ford Ranger is a unibody style. So it is much more like a Ford Explorer, a Ford Escape, something that is built very different than your average pickup truck. So that limits its ability to tow as well as its durability in harsher conditions. Now, the Ford Ranger is very nice because it is a very small pickup truck that can be used off-road and can be used to tow a decent amount. So it fits the niche where it needs to, and it serves a little bit different clientele than the Ford Maverick. However, many people who enjoy using their pickup trucks for things that pickup trucks were intended to originally be used for typically go with the full-size model of the F-150 or higher. So the Ford Maverick will be a force to be reckoned with, and it will be interesting to see what happens going forward once Ford finally releases this vehicle on the market to be purchased. Will the consumer choose this over the Ford Ranger based on price and needs, or will it just simply complement the Ford Ranger? Now, another thing we are going to take a look at is we are going to look at the price, the starting MSRP sticker price that Ford is revealing these vehicles for on their website. Now, we all know in this current market, you will not be able to find current sticker price as far as vehicles, and it's very hard to find brand new vehicles on dealer lots. However, the Ford Maverick is a 2022 year model vehicle, so it still has some time to be released, and by then, hopefully the chip shortage and things of that nature will be taken care of. But right now, we're going to go over and take a look at the Ford website to see what prices they are offering these two vehicles at, as well as comparing them to their higher end pickup truck models. So we're going to do that right now. So we have the Ford website pulled up here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at trucks and vans offerings from the Ford website. So starting off right here, we see the 2022 Maverick already has a listing, and it already has a starting MSRP price of $19,995. Now the Ford Ranger has a starting MSRP sticker price at $25,070. And then if you get into the larger size vehicles, they have the F-150 starting at $29,290 and the Super Duty starting at $35,200. But we're going to focus in on the Maverick and the Ranger because, as you can see, Ford has a model here going basically where it's about $5,000 difference each model that you go up in abilities. So they have it priced and spaced pretty well. However, in our own experience, we have witnessed that the Ranger is much closer to the F-150 in price range That is due to the fact that many Rangers are modeled out with extras added on, and it's fairly easy to find a base model F-150. And if you're using these vehicles for what they were intended to be used for, workhorses basically, you are going to want that bare bones minimum because you are using it for a specific reason and need. Now, the Ford Maverick, the Ford Ranger, and even the F-150 and higher all offer different cab sizes. The Ford Maverick is the only one that is offered in a full crew cab size alone. So it is not offered in an extended cab, nor is it offered in a regular cab. Now the Ranger is very different in that it has multiple cab options, and the F-150 does as well. So those two vehicles are going to supply different needs depending on different uses and aspects, whereas the Maverick is simply meant to be basically a car with a bed, which can come in handy depending on what your needs are. Now, Ford decided to go with the Maverick name because it is a retro name, so to speak, and it is able to strike headlines by being used as a pickup truck name. So a lot of people are talking about the 2022 Maverick and how it's now a pickup truck and no longer a car like in years prior. Now, some of the specs down here, you have seating for 5, which is typical in a pickup truck. You have a payload of 1,500 pounds, which is not too terrible, so to speak. And overall, this vehicle can fit the needs of many different individuals. As you can see here, they are marketing it very well to their specific type of clientele. These individuals here are loading the back with plants, and this truck will be able to move those plants no problem. Putting those same plants in the trunk of a Prius or a Camry or a Ford Escape or a Ford Fusion is going to be a little bit more cumbersome, and it's going to get your interior dirty, and it's just going to be a mess, and people don't want to have to deal with that. So if they have a vehicle that has a bed, they will be able to do things that most people either don't want to do or can't do simply based on the vehicle they have. Now down here, they offer different trim levels of the Maverick, as you can see. They offer Lariat, Lariat First Edition, XL, XLT, all kinds of needs depending on what your needs are. Now the XL is going to be your base model with your base sticker price, and it just goes up from there. So once you really dive into this, and one thing I want to mention on these trims is when you get into the higher trims, obviously the price goes up, but the dealers are going to price them very differently than the sticker price that you see. The Lariat in a Maverick might be substantially lower than the Lariat in a Ranger. However, with dealer incentives and dealer sales, typically a Lariat, Ranger, and F-150 are going to be much closer in price than I expect the Maverick Lariat version to be in. So that's one thing to keep in mind is once dealers start getting their hands on these vehicles, they're going to be offering them at different price points depending on what exactly they come with. So at the end of the day, is the Maverick going to bury the Ford Ranger? Well, it will be interesting to see, and it will be just something that we have to kind of witness for ourselves once the vehicles are released. As you can see here, the Ranger is offered in the same exact trim levels as the Maverick, so there's no real difference there. The only difference is when you get into the larger pickup truck sizes, such as the F-150 and the F-250, there are much more higher trim models than just simply the Lariat. So they realize that no one's going to buy a Platinum or Limited or King Ranch version of these vehicles, and so they just simply do not offer them. So there's a lot of similarities between the Ranger and the Maverick, right? The trim levels are the same. The price point is about on par given the different trucks they offer. And overall, they fit different niches. Now, one thing I want to mention about the Ranger that fits a better mold than the Maverick is the off-road capabilities, which as you can see down here on Ford's website, they really hit the nail on the head with who they are marketing this vehicle to. They are marketing this vehicle to overlanders. They are marketing this vehicle to people who take their vehicles and their trucks off-road, up a mountain, through a valley, and all kinds of things to go camping or just hanging out or what have you. Now, this vehicle does the job better than arguably the F-150 and higher, given its size and maneuverability. So this is much more an off-road vehicle than, say, a full-size pickup truck. So, is Ford just going to have the Maverick available for the everyday man, the Ranger available for the off-roader, and the full-size truck and higher available to the working man? I think that's what Ford is going with at the current time with this vehicle. And so I think that is what's going to happen here. I think all models and all vehicles will be able to coexist with one another, and the pickup truck is just showing itself to be more and more popular as the day goes on. So I think Ford is very wise in doing this. But let me know what your thoughts are and opinions down below. Do you think the Maverick's going to kill the Ranger? Do you think it's just going to complement the Ranger? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit that like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with future updates on our channel. And until next time, we'll see y'all.